So it's finally my favorite time of the year. All right, what are you waiting for? Let's go to the art table. I actually surprised myself that it turned out so good. Hello, it's me, Mimim, and welcome to my world. So it's finally my favorite time of the year. It's the spooky season or the Halloween season. So for the whole month of October, I'm doing Halloween themed videos, and this is the first part of that video. So for this video, I'm creating a custom display case. So in the past, what I do is I unbox a set of figures, and then after that, I'll be creating a video of like customizing a display case for those figures. But this time around, I'm trying something new, like an opposite of that. I'll be creating a custom display case and I'll show you guys how to make it. And then I'll let you guys guess what I'll be putting in that. So for this first part, I'll be creating a custom display case with you guys. I'll show you guys how to make it, what materials I used, and then I'll be showing you guys the final result. Alright, what are you waiting for? Let's go to the art table. So I just got back from downtown Cebu and I bought some of these items over here. And you know the drill. I buy these like bare bones display cases and I DIY them. I'll show you the picture of what it used to be. So these are the steps for the display case, and this is the bottom part of the display case, so like the floor. And then this is for the top part. This has a light on it. It can change to different colors. This is different from the past two display cases that I bought. This lights up to three different uh, colors, so this is something new. And this is the back part of the display case, so basically the background. There are some other parts for this display case, but those other parts we don't touch them, just like the support for the steps and the side of the display case and the door of the display case. So I just showed you guys all of the things that we need to DIY for this display case. And then for the other materials that I have, these are some of the glow in the dark paints that I used for my past display case, my DIY display case for my Demu Zodiac. And then these are the paint brushes that we'll use today. I'll use them for the paint and for the glue. And speaking of, I think it's out of frame. This is the glue that we'll use. And then basics like scissors. And then this pen, because I need to have a silver pen, because again, I'll use a black background for this one. So this is the black cartolina that I bought, but I'm thinking of another option. This one I bought from downtown Cebu. This is a black felt paper. So it is felt, so it has that plush feeling to it. And in my observation, it is much darker, or it looks darker in video and in person. It sucks up more light than the regular cartolina paper. So I'm trying to explore this option. I don't know how this will fare with paint and glue and stuff. So let's see. So I have these two options, a black cartolina and a black felt paper. And then these are the most exciting parts. These are like small patches of grass, like miniature patches of grass. And then this is a gray sand that we'll use today. I have two of those. And then I have these tweezers so that I could put the patches of grass more accurately because I have long, stubbly hands. So it would be much easier if I have these. And then these are so amazing. I'm so lucky that I found these from the Orange app. So these are miniature tombstones. As you can see, oh my god, they look so good. This is tombstone number 1. And then this is a cross. And the last one is another kind of a tombstone. See, they look so good. I was kind of hesitant at first if I should buy these, but to my surprise, they do look good and they feel hefty. So these are good quality. So as you can see, they look so good. And then the last one is this miniature design. So these are creepy but very on theme on today's video for our Halloween display case. So these are miniature skulls that will be scattering around the display case, so it would look so cool, so creepy. I love it. This is the felt paper. As you can see, it looks so plush and it looks darker. So I think I'll use this one for this project. All right, so we have our felt paper laying flat over here. So we'll use this for the background and the top part of the display case. So first and foremost, let's get the size of this background of the display case. Compared to the cartolina, the felt paper has a white back, so I think we can use that part, and then we'll just trace it. All right, so let's use this pen. I think you can use a regular pen for this one because it's a white paper, so you can use a regular pen for this one. But for now, I'll just use this pen. So as you can see, the background has some ridges to it or some notch. These are to be attached to the floor part and to the upper part of the display case. So we'll just trace in between them, and then we'll just connect the line from there. So I put this at the edge of the felt paper, so I'll just need to trace two sides of the background. Okay, let me remove this. And then, as you can see, again, there are spaces there, so we'll just connect it using a ruler. All right, so we have connected the line over here. So the next part is we'll cut this out. All right, so we've cut out this piece already for the background of the display case. It looks so cool already. I know it's just plain black felt paper, but it looks cool. It looks so dark, which is perfect for the background of this display case. And then the next part of the display case that we need to trace is this top part. But for this one, we just need the size of the inner parts of the display case because we need to keep our design inside of these notches. So from here, inside. So my plan is just to trace all of this to the paper, and then I'll just cut out this part. I'll just measure how much I need to get from each side, and then boom, I'll have the inner part of the display case. So for this, I'll just use the bottom part of the display case. And now it's all traced. So the next part is to cut it out. So now it's all cut up for the upper part of the display case. And just to note, if you see your black felt paper come off and get on your hands, that's totally normal. So now that we have cut up the proper cover for the top part and the background part, so all you need to do is just glue this down here. But for the top part, again, you need to cut off this shape onto here so that the light won't have any obstructions, so that it could shine some light on your display case. So just again, cut off some of these parts here on the side so that the felt paper would be inside the notch here. And then for the background, you just need to put some double-sided tape on the back part of the felt paper and just put it right there. You can use glue, I think, but for me, the best one that I have used so far is double-sided tape. So I'll be using a double-sided tape. So the next part that we need to DIY are the steps. So for these, in the past, I had to cover up the steps with some kind of paper, cartolina or something. So it was kind of difficult because this shape, I needed to accommodate the curves of the steps. But for now, we'll just use these gray sand to cover all of this. But we'll start with the sides of the steps. One thing you need to note is you need to determine which part of the step goes on the back, because we don't put anything on the back part of the steps, because in my experience, in my last video, I ended up coating everything in the steps with the glow in the dark stones. But to my surprise, when I put it all together, it did not fit properly. So we need to determine which part is the back part so that we don't put anything there, so that it would fit as a step like that. We'll just focus on the side part for now. So for this part, I'll just put paper on here just to catch the sand here so that it won't be such a mess. I'll use this brush to coat everything with this glue. So let's start. So for the glue, just put like a thin layer of the glue. We don't want our sand to be chunky, so just put like a small layer of the glue and then just brush it out just to get it even all over. We'll just cut off small part from this plastic and then we'll pour it on top. Ooh, it looks good already. So the sand is really fine and it does stick to the glue properly. There are some spaces that would need some more coverage, but I think it looks good. So I think the side part turned out better than this. So I'll just let this dry up and then I'll put more layer of glue on top of this and then cover it with sand again. So while the steps dry up, let's work on the bottom part of the display case. So for this one, again, in the past, I needed to cover this up with paper. But for now, I have decided that I'll just put glue all over here. Just like the steps, I'll cover it with the gray sand. So let's do that. So to prevent that the glue would dry up, I'll do this in 3 parts. So let's start with this part for now. So a reminder again, for the nth time, just keep the design inside the notches because this would be where the walls would be installed in. So just keep the design inside the notch, okay? Okay, so it is uneven as you can see, but that's the goal. So this looks good already, well, for me, and then I'll just cover the rest of this up. All right, so it's been a day and I have covered some of the parts of the steps already with the sand. As you can see, the front part is much more uniform and the side part as well. And I've done like the edges over here as well. As you can see, I've put some sand like just underneath the front part of the steps because when it is like that, it can show a little. So I'd rather have some coverage there just so that it won't be like bare wood. Okay, so that's it. And then I have also successfully covered the bottom part of the display case. So it kind of looks dirty or rugged, but that's the point because this is supposed to be like a cemetery, so it should not be very uniform. And then the next step is actually to put all of these stuff, the exciting stuff, onto the step and the base of the display case. So before I cover the upper part of the steps, I wanted to glue these down onto the steps before I cover the upper part of the step because at least these tombstones would be glued directly to the wood instead of being glued on top of the sand, which I think makes it less stable, I think. So, yeah, just plan out where you would put all of these tombstones onto the steps. Like if you would do something like that. Yeah. So, I suggest when doing this part, you should put all of your figures down here and see which have like a space at the back to accommodate the tombstone prop. So just measure with your figures and then figure out where to glue it down. And then after gluing down the tombstone, again, just like what I did with the front and the side part, I'll cover the upper part of the steps. And then after doing that is to put all of these miniature grass and skulls over here. So again, try to display your figures on the steps and see where it has spaces on them. The last time I just decorated it and without thinking about where the figure would stand on. So you would need a flat surface, of course, for the figure to be stable, and then just see where there are spaces, put some skulls on there, just use glue, and then these miniature grasses, they already have like a double-sided tape inside, so you can just pluck it and then just put it where you want it to be. So just the same with the base as well. So when the steps are already in, just put some miniature grass and then the skulls and one of the tombstones. So yeah. Okay, so the next pieces of the display case is the top part. As you can see, I've already covered it with the felt paper. I've cut out these parts here, and then I also cut out this space so that there would be space for the light. It's not that perfect as you can see here, but It is on the top and you can't really see it when displaying. But I can suggest, if that bothers you, you can just put a marker, black marker on there, so that it would be whole black. And then this is the back part of the display case. So I said I would use double-sided tape for this one, but out of curiosity, I used glue instead. But I had to move really, really fast because I had to put on the glue, and then to make sure that it doesn't dry up, I have to scatter the glue evenly all throughout so that there won't be bubbles on the felt paper over here. Just make sure to put glue all around the display case. Make sure there is glue there so that the paper won't lift up. But you can also use double-sided tape if you want. But I just tried it out with glue and it worked perfectly. But again, I had to move fast. And my next plans for these parts of the display case is to put some glow-in-the-dark paints on them. I'm planning to draw some ghosts there, some tombstones over here. But I've tried out the glow-in-the-dark paint on the felt paper, but it doesn't shine that much. I tried using a UV flashlight and it doesn't have the effect that I want to. So I'll pivot the design to another course. I am waiting on another item for the design of the background. So I'll show you guys on the final part of this video what the design for this one is. And for the top part, I'm planning to keep it blank for now. So I won't be using the glow-in-the-dark paints anymore. I'll just keep this blank, so just like a black night sky. All right, now we're all done. Now this is the final design for the custom display case that we created for this Halloween season. So let's start off with the background. So for the background, as I have said, I was planning to put some glow-in-the-dark paints on the background and draw some ghosts, etc. But I was thinking it would be too busy and would be taking out the attention from the figures. So I kept it simple and I bought like a glow in the dark moon sticker from the Orange app. So this actually glows in the dark as a blue moon because once in a blue moon, right? I actually bought another sticker that's still the same size and it's still a moon, but it glowed green. So I bought the two variation, the blue one and the green one. But for me, the blue one was, more realistic, quote unquote realistic, or more pleasing to the eyes than the green one. Though the green one glowed much brighter than the blue one. Well, not that much, but it glowed brighter. But the blue one felt the more appropriate for this design. And then for the top part, again, I just kept it simple. Just covered it with the felt paper right here. So this represents like a dark night sky, and it would complement the moon. So it won't be too busy. And now I'll be putting these down here. We're off to the main event. I have already put the figures in just so that I would know where to put the skulls and the grass in, so that there won't be like situations where the figures would be falling over because there's a grass there or there's a skull there. So this is the final design and I'm so happy with the result. So let's start off with the steps right here. So the steps right here, there's two tombstones there. I have covered the steps with the gray sand, and then I actually put some glue on top of the skulls in the tombstone just to make it more blend in on the steps. So it looks so cool. It does look like a graveyard now, an abandoned one. And then the base of the display case. So as you can see, I did not put a lot of designs at the back because it would just be covered by the steps. But I made sure to have designs at the front. This is where the cross is. And there's skulls there, patches of grass. I'm just so happy with the result of this custom display case. And I hope you guys were able to follow my instructions, and I hope you guys could create this on your own as well. So just to show you guys the overall effect or the overall look of the custom display case, I'll be putting on the background right here. I won't be assembling everything, just so that you could see the overall design of this display case. As you can see, the background is not that busy, so it doesn't take away from the design at the front, at the steps, the tombstones, the skulls, the patches of grass. So it's so perfect. I could not ask this to turn out more well. I actually surprised myself that it turned out so good. So again, hopefully you guys could create this on your own as well. It's just so satisfying after. Alright, that's it for this week's video. This is just the part 1 of our Halloween series for this month. So stay tuned for the part 2, where I unbox the figures that I'll be putting in this display case. And in that video, I'll be putting them in and you'll have a final look with the display case and the figures. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video as much as I enjoyed creating this custom display case and creating this video as well. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button and click the notification bell button so that you would be notified for future videos. Share this to all of your friends, your titos, your titas, your grandmoms, your granddads, everyone. Alright, that's it. Happy spooky season, everyone!